Guys, I'm going to show you another example of how to find a trig value on the coordinate plane. So here we go. It asked me to find the cosine negative 300. Let's go through our steps. Step 1, you're going to draw the angle. Step 2, you're going to draw your triangle. Step 3, you're going to label the sides of your triangle. And then it's just a matter of plugging in the numbers. So here we go. Step 1, draw this angle measure. Where is negative 300? Well, recall, here's 0. In order to be negative, I have to rotate in a downward direction when I begin. So we're going to go in a clockwise direction this way. So let's count up negative 300. Here we go. Negative 90, negative 180, negative 270, negative 360. So somewhere in here, we have to know exactly where. So if this was negative 270 and this is negative 360, is it going to be right down the middle? No, it's actually going to be closer to 270 than 360. It's going to be right about here. Okay? Now, if this is negative 270 and this is negative 300, then that means I went an additional 30 degrees right here. So could we say from here to here is 30? Yes, that was an additional 30 degrees. Okay, so that's going to be helpful here in a minute. Draw my triangle. How do I do that? From the ray, right here. Go perpendicular. Now, is there any particular spot I choose here? No, it doesn't matter. Just pick a point on here. You could come way down here. Just make such a tiny triangle that makes it hard for me to see. So I go further out, perpendicular, straight down to the x-axis. It will always go perpendicular to the x-axis, okay? Now, once I do that, I got to know this angle degree. It's always the angle at the origin that I got to know. That's going to be my theta. So how could I know this measure? Well, remember how we labeled this was 30? If this is 30, then how much is this? This angle right here has to be 60. That tells me this number right here. Can you see that? This angle right here is 60 degrees. Okay, what does that tell me? I'm using a 30, 60, 90 triangle. This is the one I'm going to use to label my triangle. That means I'm going to have a short leg. I call this the short leg, and this the long leg. The two legs make up the right angle. This is the hypotenuse straight across from the right angle. So let's make sure we label them correctly. Take a look. Okay, here's my right angle. These are my two legs. This is the short one. We're going to label him 1. This is the long one. We're going to label him square root 3. And the hypotenuse is going to be 2. Okay, so I've drawn my angle. I've drawn my triangle. And I've now labeled my 3 sides. Okay, remember the angle right here. Oh, did we check for positive and negative? Let's see, this went positive, so I'm good there. And up, that's positive, I'm good. Just don't forget those positive negatives, or you're going to get the answer wrong. Okay, now that I've done that, let's label our 3 sides. How do I know where theta is? Theta is always the angle here at the origin, the one I had to label right here. That's my theta, which means this one is the opposite, right? Across from the right angle, he's the hypotenuse. And the leg connected to the angle is going to be the adjacent. Now that I have those 3 labeled, now I can find cosine of negative 300. Well, if you remember your SOHCAHTOA, cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. What is the adjacent value? Right here it is a 1. What is the hypotenuse? Right here it is a 2. And I leave it just like that. My answer is 1/2. And that's all there is to it. So make sure you're solid and have these triangles written down. When you do your homework, I better see the triangle and the 3 sides labeled, and your final answer. That's how you're going to be grading your homework. So make sure you do those 3 things. Okay, good luck, you guys. You got this.